Okay, let me just get my bearings as to what we were doing. Don't even know how many captains in we are now. Right. So we're back in London. This is the storytime stream, so I'm basically just going to read things out. I know that sometimes it's too small, especially if you're watching on a phone screen, so I just read it, really, and we have a little bedtime story. Oh, that's good coffee. Different coffee from usual. It's good coffee. Okay. Let's go see the dark spectacled admiral. You're ushered into his office off Mansion's Pyre, a cramped room with a vast desk. He surveys you across that desk. Ah yes, the merchant captain of whom we hear such complicated things. So the admiral purchases intelligence from us, so usually port reports, but sometimes he sends us places. So I might need to check if we've been sent anywhere, I can't remember. So we can ask for assistance with subsistence. Ask if the Admiralty can provide a little fuel to cover your costs in the dry dock. I think we have enough fuel. Submit vital intelligence. We haven't currently got any. We need a vital intelligence to submit it. He might ask us for one, or we might be currently in the process of gathering one. You can submit your port reports. And what is the day-to-day like on those farther shores? We don't have a revelatory chart. We don't have any moves in the Great Game. And we don't have any shipments of red honey to turn in. So let's see if we have any port reports. We don't have anything. So that's it. We could actually, I suppose, see if there's anything else he wants. So if we speak to him, discover the Admiral's desires. Information. Visit a port and will be interested in the port report. Visit places of particular interest and will be interested in the strategic information you gain thereby. We will pay you well, don't worry. We understand you can't be expected to act entirely for the love of the Empire. His lip curls. What's left of it? Okay, so he's not specifically asking us for anywhere he actually wants us to go, so we probably already have one. Maybe we don't have anything. Maybe we're just not... Ah, the Command Canal is where he wants us to go. Okay, that's not too far, so that's fine. Anyway, back to this. So, London. There's a lot of things here we can't do. We either don't have enough money or... I don't know why that's locked. We might have been here actually already. We might have stayed here for a bit. Let's go to the Command Canal. Just because it's a nice easy place to get to. So we got this little logbook down here. I'll try and read out some of that as well as it comes up. It's a bit repetitive on this game. On the next game. Because I played the other one first. And then this one. I haven't finished either of them, but I got a lot further through the second one, which is Sunless Skies. But I won't need to read it with that one. It comes up on the screen. It comes up across your path, so... It says, December 15th, 1888. Fed the crew. December 16th. Azela is praying. December 16th. Little ships throng the waters here. The crew grow wistful. They swap old stories of sunlit sea. We draw near to the Crimean Canal, the way to the surface. Let's turn the light off so it can't see us. Oh, it may still have... No, maybe it's... Maybe we can lose it. Right, this here is the Crimean Canal. What's this? Don't you dare forget me. You stand on the bridge with the likely lass's locket in hand. Keep it. Oh, this is someone that I got the locket off of when we were... Okay, yeah, no, I have already been in London for a while then, because I was romancing someone, I think. So keep it. It's a risk for both of you. Shorebound lovers grow lonely and sea captains die young. Or throw it away. With enough time and effort, you could break her heart, or she yours. I take requests if people want to suggest something, or specifically want to see something happen. But my instinct is to keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. Close your hand over the locket. The sea air is cold, but the heat of your blood has warmed the metal of the locket. Keep it close. This is is an achievement because I just got it. So it's not something I've done before in this game. I don't usually romance on games anyway. But I think it's usually required for completion. So, but anyhow, yeah. So, December 17th, 1888. Waves slap the side of the ship. Far below, something moves. Right, Crimean Canal staging area. So if we had enough fuel, which we don't, we could travel to the surface from here. We can listen for surface gossip. The ships of the surface linger here. This is their lifeline to a warmer place. We can gather information for a port report. Many ships pass this way, but perhaps you'll pick up something they missed. Or we can fulfill the Admiralty commission. Row out and meet a contact at the foot of the Albertine gates. The password is the Empire Remembers. So, I kind of want to do what we came here for first, and then see if we can get a port report, so that we can go back with a little bit more to basically sell for money effectively when we get to the Admiralty. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. In the shadow of the gates, a deeply tanned vagabond waits in a jolly boat. His clothes are ragged and his face is filthy, but his voice and manners are educated. His message is a string of numbers and the names of 7 towns in Essex, Shropshire, Cumbria. He insists that you repeat it back to him 3 times. He will not allow you to commit it to paper. Right, let's see if we can get port report. Business as usual. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the Untersee, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. And let's see if we can get any gossip. Daylight. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary half-legal hostelries in long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntanned surface sailors, stories of Paris and Batavia. I don't know if that's a real place, and I may have just horribly mispronounced it. The Lost Fires and the Final Isles, definitely not real places. But anyway, we now have a vision of the surface. Can't travel there though, so let's take our information back to London. Very grindy, this game. It's mostly just trying to make more money for a bigger ship and for better weapons and things. But there is a lot of things to explore further out. It's just really hard to get to them without dying, either on the way back or there, even. Stay away from that thing. Bastard crab. December 18th, 1888. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London. December 18th. Fed the crew. December 19th. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Right, returning to London. The lights of London welcome you home. So, collect messages from the harbour master. All the clatter and song of the dockside, it soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? We don't lose terror because we don't have enough to lose terror. So we just pick up our messages. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Okay, a little proposal. This guy again. Good evening, and what a marvellous evening it is, if you don't mind my saying so. And given it is my impression you are an obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. And since you are so very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Mount Palmerston with a few articles of cargo, if you happen to be in the area. The cheery man will of course cover your expenses for this trifling inconvenience. Right, so this is more smuggling. So we've been smuggling with this guy for a while, I think. Every captain I've had has smuggled with this guy. So we can accept the commission. It is only, after all, a trifling inconvenience. Ask if there is another task you could perform instead. I see you are hesitant. Perhaps you find Mount Palmerston unbearable, and who could blame you? Well, if you have the vinegar, there is another matter which
Check
you might
out
be able
the
to
pet
assist me with.
cafe.
Or we can just straight up refuse. Your hold is full. Your affairs are complex. Mount Palmerston is full of our way and full of devils. I don't want to piss this guy off. He's given us stuff. As much as we are smuggling, he is giving us stuff. So I think I will accept, unless anyone would specifically like to see me refuse. I don't really want to deal with the fallout of that decision, though. But if you would like to, then say so. No. I am going to accept the commission. Cool. If you would be so kind as to deliver this little gift to our friends in Mount Palmerston, then they will see we gets to hear about it. And when you come back, we'll cover your expenses. Bon voyage, as my aunt, who was French by birth, if not by inclination, used to like to say. Interesting. We now have some an unstamped crate of brilliant souls, so we cannot come back to London until they are gone. I think I do have the map, however, so I think I can see where Mount Palmerston is. Let's have a look. So we can visit the Rose Market. It bustles on Rose's Wharf. Perhaps you can find a buyer for some of the curiosities you found at Z. Carouse and Wolfstack Docks. There is no danger here. Try to enjoy yourself. But you can dry dock. Get a new recruit. Let's look at the new. There's the specialist surgeon. Okay, so there's a couple of potential new recruits anyway. So there's an officer, the irrepressible cannoneer. Are you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here's my design for a whistling shell. Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it? The cannoneer is a gunnery officer who substantially increases iron. Or the sigil-ridden navigator. Let me guide your ship. I know all the Z, how it was, how it will be. Please, the headaches only stop when I'm working. He's very interesting. I haven't ever taken the cannoneer on. There's also the specialist surgeon. I've got a chief engineer. I don't have a gunnery officer. He is the cheaper one. Let's take the gunnery officer. Oh, this is interesting. Room for improvement? There's always room for improvement. Wait, let me make notes. Paper? No new recruits for the moment now. Let's place him. Okay. Lodgings. No, there's nothing to do there. Let's go to Wolfstack Docks. A marvellous night out. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. We're fortunate. We've lost 5 terror. And we have recent news. That knife in Wolfstack you find yourself sharing a table with. Either someone whose name you do not afterwards recall. Your only love is the Z. You'll take comfort where you find it, but that's all it is. Or the likely lass. Don't think I came down to the docks just to see you. I've got business here. But all right, it did cross my mind that you might drop by. Let's not... I want to see where this goes. I want it to be the likely lass. I haven't done the romance quest line in this before. A few hours together. Shared warmth, new memories. It's harder to say goodbye this time. But we've lost all the terror. We have no terror now. And visit the Rose Market. The Rose Market caters to collectors and eccentrics, anyone with exotic tastes and the gumption to harass sea captains. According to the archaic rules of the market, you can only make one trade per visit. Choose wisely. So we don't actually have anything that anyone's looking for. So if someone is looking for moves in the Great Game, someone is looking for watchful curios. We don't have any of those. And we don't have enough free time to bring anyone else. So that's pretty much all we can do. Let's head to Mount Palmerston. Where the heck is it? Dear God. Okay. Over there. So like pretty much just there. Over there. That way. Let's go. Hope we have enough fuel and food. I think we can buy more at Mount Palmerston though, so it's fine. It's not really an evil place. It is full of devils, but the devils aren't really bad. It's quite far, so we're just going to pretty much be traversing the entire map. December 19th, 1888. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the snares. December 20th. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. December 20th. Fed the crew. far are we? We are heading the right way. Ish. Could do with sort of angling up a little. December 20th. We have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. December 21st. As Zayla raises her head, sniffs sharply. Blood on the wind. How am I feeling about my officers? I'm a bit annoyed that I died last time, because the one where I died before, I think I had a full complement. They both seem kind of nuts. This is not an officer. I refuse to believe that's an officer. Yeah, they both seem kind of insane. They are all a little bit weird, but they're not all straight up crazy. December 22nd, a row of watchful Z-bats perch on the ship's railing. Their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Yeah, I have a Blemmigan. I always have the Blemmigan. The Blemmigan's cute, and the alternative is like a comatose ferret. Well, I think there might be other mascots. I think in this game there's a Rattus Faber that's a mascot. But the thing is, like, that's really annoying because Rattus Faber are good at repairing things, that's the point. But I think in the second game you can have the same Rattus Faber or like, basically the same kind of character, but as an engineer, which is cool. Oh, that turns off when I'm in fight. I'm not fighting him. I'm running away. Go away. December 22nd. We hear those voices that will not be drowned. This is the sea of voices. We are close to Polythreme, where nothing is ever truly dead. December 23rd. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. I'm not engaging any of them. I'm just going to keep going, because once I get to the area I need to be in, I think they'll go away, because I think they'll basically be sort of home port ships anyway. The further away I get as well, the more inaccurate their aim's going to be. But I don't think I can actually outclass them, so I'm just going to keep going. Right, Palmerston's Reach. There's brimstone on the wind. That's where I wanted to get to. That's a mine, I think. But obviously I'm not going to turn around to go over it and find out. I think it's a mine, though. I think it's more useful when you're actually in a battle, because you're likely to go over the mine. I'm not checking. I think it's a mine, because I'm pretty sure I had the ability to fire them once. Mount Palmerston. Brimstone. Always brimstone. Sullen lights glow green at the jetty's edge. Behind the port buildings, the island is knee-deep in ash. There are ruins here and there of houses destroyed by fire. Far above, the mountain's top flickers red, just for an instant. So I can explore the island. Tangles of thorned scrub climb the rocky slopes of the volcano. I do not have the bells of parabola linen that the officer wants, so I can't do that. Chat to the port folk about the Brimstone Convention. There was a revolution in hell, and the aristocracy of devils fled here. Here they plot in exile. I can deliver the smuggled souls that I was given. That's the reason I was here. A hooded figure with a lantern waits at the far end of the quay. Or I can dig among the ruins. Perhaps the villagers left valuables behind. You could pick over their remains to see what you might find, you ghoul. So I've only got a 60% chance of success. It's likely what's going to happen is I'm going to get caught. I've only got 2 supplies anyway, and that's what I need for it, so I don't think we're going to do that. But I'm going to deliver what I came here for. A hurried exchange. You give the hooded shape a sign of recognition. It hisses the reply you expected. You hand over the crate and receive a chitty marked with thief sign. You'll receive the promised remuneration in London. So now I can go back and tell him I've delivered it. Let's explore. Let's explore. A Blemmigan colony. At the heart of a salty little bog, you come upon a pulsing mound of Blemmigans. They are a rich dark purple, like viscera perhaps, or blackberries. They chitter as they swarm. The sound is like pebbles on a beach. Be careful. A single Blemmigan is a nuisance. 100 are a calamity. So I can assault the colony. Repulsive creatures, take what you can. Very chancy challenge, 43% chance of success. Or I can observe the colony. I only have a 33% chance of success. Fascinating creatures, learn what you can. I have a Blemmigan on my ship. I think it's probably a bad idea to assault them. That seems wrong. But I'm not going to succeed either way. Does anybody want me to fight the Blemmigans? I would prefer to observe them, but it seems like a bad idea. They both seem like a bad idea. Neither seems sensible. I don't want to fight Blemmigans. So mean. They're so cute. Okay, I'm not fighting the Blemmigans. Cool. Observing the Blemmigans. A complex situation. They do resemble the fruiting bodies of fungus. The mound itself looks fungal. Are they the same organism? And they communicate and cooperate. You watch as they drag a marsh rat up the side of the mound, bickering over the disposition of its flesh. And you watch as a half dozen stand on the top of the mound, listening respectfully to the chittering of a seventh. It's improbably reminiscent of a poetry recital. You take notes. We actually succeeded. We watched the Blemmigans. How cute. Perhaps not. Right, Mount Palmerston. Is there anything else? I could chat to the port folk about the Brimstone Convention. A shrug and a curse. They don't do us any harm. They stay up there, and we stay down here. If hell's fighting itself, that's good for us all, isn't it? And that gave me a port report. Cool, let's head back to London. Try and stay away from where there are pirates. Don't want to be shot at anymore. December 24th. Fed the crew. Stay away from pirates. Near Polythreme again. December 25th. The waves are cluttered with Zerak like drowned hair drifting. Oh, this is Godfall. Godfall is bizarre. Ugh. Being shot at again. Kind of want to stop at Godfall though, because it's a weird place. It's not useful to me in any way, but let's stop there. Sometimes, just occasionally, bits of the roof fall off. Be glad you weren't here when this one did. The brawling bearded men who live here call themselves monks. They pay lip service to Saint Stalactite, which fell from the roof. But their chief interests seem to be wine, blood, and shouting. So, of wine, the throats of the brothers are dry. They'll pay for something to moisten them. So we don't have any mushroom wine to give them. Of blood, offer them a hunting trophy as a gift for their collection, which we don't have. Or of shouting, let them tell you about past and present events in the monastery. That we can do, and that will give a support report. We could, if we had foxfire candles, explore the shattered citadel. Before the stalactite was a monastery, before it ever fell from the roof, it was a citadel. The fall shattered it and killed all its occupants, probably. Why don't you take a look? So I need to get hold of as many foxfire candles as possible before I can explore Godfall, and I keep not doing this, but I really do want to explore it. Is there anything? There's no shops here. Let's ask them to tell me anyway. Tales. They're eager to talk about their history. The stalactite, they assure you, is one of the citadels of the starved men who dwell in the roof. When it fell, a few of its occupants survived to become the monks' progenitors. How does that work, you wonder, with their vow of celibacy? They become vague and are suddenly eager to speak of the details of passing shipping. So I do need to come back when I've got some foxfire candles. Because Godfall does sound really cool. Stop shooting me! Okay, I'm gonna have to get repaired when I get back to London. Right, I better not get hit by anything else. Let's stop off here and see if I can get another port report. Just keep getting port reports so I can get as much money as possible for my repairs, apparently. And food, I seem to have run out. Right, Shepherd Isles, sheep-like and standing stones. Of course, the bearded watchman tells you, there are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, indeed, it's just the name of the gentleman that found the islands. Greybeard sitting in the village square and nods solemnly. No sheep, one says, but plenty of tales. Ask us anything. So we can have a picnic at the Standing Stones. The bearded villagers will sell you mutton stew and kefir and stone bottles of cold fresh spring water and row you over to the stones. Tales of the Standing Stones. The bearded villagers are happy to talk about the local sights. Well, sight. Tales of 3 graves. Who sleeps beneath the turf over on that island to the northwest? Tales of Thornwall Croft. What about that isle to the north, the one that isn't bridged? I don't have enough supplies to ask about the rest of the Z. I can compile a port report. Oh, yes, yes, my yes, there's been goings-on. And the sigil-ridden navigator appears to have followed me, so I can engage him from here. So, does anybody want me to do anything at all specific? I kind of want to engage the officer, because that's always useful. Relief. Thank you. The nonsense here was a distraction for a while, but only the Z can help me now. Oh my god, the air, it's clearer already. Let me chart a course for you. Right, let's appoint him. It's my first officer. Anyway. For the ride, your choices. Cool. I'm gonna get a port report first, because that's kind of why I've... In the bleak light of the false stars, surface roiling like a porridge pot, up with a roar of steam and flash of fire, 3 widows swim in tentacles, and then we saw His Highness. There is rather a lot of this material.
Welcome stream stickers.
Yeah, so there's a port report, and it's absolute bollocks. Yeah, that's what I think of the port report as well. I don't know, let's ask about the island that's just kind of off on its own. The wrong kind of people. The ones that farm up there. They're us, me and you. What are you throwing? All the other versions of us. One with a trick leg, one that married his cousin, one that was buried alive. Characters out of another history. They're waiting up there and plotting, gathering allies, waiting to make their history ours. So don't go there. You won't find them anyways, being that they hides in the barn. Weird. Okay. They don't want to talk anymore now. How close am I? Miles. Yeah, I haven't got any fuel. Turn the light off. And just head straight for London. Might be a bit screwed here. Our fuel reserves are empty. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. And I have no food to burn up either. I might die here. Yeah, I'm screwed. Let's head to the Salt Lions. If anywhere's likely to have sort of fuel for sale, it's there, I suppose. That's the nearest place that's sort of friendly-ish. Right, I can make port here. I really hope they have fuel for sale.
ZZZZ.
No. Nothing. I got nothing I can use either. Can't even make a sacrifice. I can abandon ship. I might be able to get to Venderbite or to Hunter's Keep. I'm gonna have to make my mind up which one I want to head for. Let's try Venderbite. Lights off. Oh crap. More hull damage. I don't think I'm gonna get there though. I'm not gonna get there. We got nothing. We're screwed. Yeah, we're not gonna get there. I haven't got enough fuel. This is gonna be my next captain dying. Yeah, we're fucked. There we go. Out of fuel. There's nothing really to do. We don't even have a distress flare. Abandoned ship. Died. Right. Choose a legacy. I want to say keep their chart, because the chart's the most useful thing at this point. There's nothing else I can inherit, just the chart. Gas price is going to take me out in real life as well. Oh, okay. Starting again. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Untersee. So the last couple of times I've given us a pass to Wreathed in Shadows just so we can go, or we can choose a pass, decide who you were and what you want to be. I'm sick of it being a Wreathed in Shadows, so I'm gonna pick one. Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Untersee, but who were you before? An ordained priest, a natural philosopher, a veteran of the campaign of 68, a poet, a street urchin. Let's be a veteran. You fought in the invasion of hell. London's armies lost, you survived. Your loot and your pension have brought you a command. Stern and exacting, they will not trifle with you. You promised a job to your acquaintance, the shady cook. He'll do until you find someone less disgusting. So we have a shady cook. What does winning mean to you? Oh, I don't want to do, like, Father's Bones or whatever. I want to do the fulfillment one. Write a masterpiece and retire. I can change to this one. I do know how to change to this one. I know where the island is where you can change. But let's start with that one. I just want to learn everything about that. Okay, your objective ambition is now to become London's most venerated explorer. That makes sense. What are we going to be addressed as? There's not a lot of options. There's so many options in Sunless Skies. There are hundreds of options. Let's go with Sir. I was the soldier, I guess. So it is. I'm addressed as Sir now. And let's be, I don't know. That's some Indiana Jones looking nonsense. Let's call him Major. Let's just call him Major. Nothing except Major. So okay, cool. So London. We can adopt a Blemmigan Gallivanter if we like, which is the same Blemmigan I had before. A Blemmigan sits atop a splintered crate, clicking and whistling at captains as they come near. So I can adopt him. I can visit the Admiralty's survey office. They'll pay for information from Z captains, find out what and how. So again, that's where we've been handing in boards and stuff, which we now don't have any because I died. Hire on more crew. We currently have 8 out of 10 spaces. Sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You'll need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees, and look for daredevils. Low risk, 81% chance of success. Put the ship in dry dock. We have a new ship now. 75 out of 75 hull, so we don't need to do that. Offer passage to a tomb colonist. An emigrant will pay to be taken north to Venderbite, or we don't have any new recruits though, so but there is potentially a passenger. So if I do all the things that are going to get me money and friends, let's adopt a Blemmigan Gallivanter. A polite bow. You extend your hand and the Blemmigan leaps on. Its tendrils entwine with your fingers and it chitters quietly. It meets your gaze and bobs its dome in greeting. It's very small. Is it old enough for naval service? You're pretty sure its moustache has been drawn on in pen in an attempt to look older. As you approach your ship's gangplank, the creature flutes and vibrates with apparent happiness. The boatswain winces as you bring it aboard. We now have a Blemmigan Gallivanter. And he is an officer. Let's get rid of this thing. This is a comatose ferret. It's useless. Mostly it's immobile. Occasionally it's feral. This thing is a keen little mushroom. Visit the survey office, see if they want anything specific. The Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The survey office pays Z captains a small sum for recent information. So we can ask if there's anything in particular they need. Well, if we can be assured of your discretion. I can ask to speak to a higher authority. Do you have an appointment? Or leave the Admiralty. You don't have anything else for us. So no, I do need to pick up a quest. This port. Speak to our agent here and return. We'll see that you're rewarded. So, Guiders Morn. I think I know where that is. And to a higher authority? Not as such. Not until you... Once you've proven yourself. So they don't want us yet. More crew? Is more crew useful? I suppose it is. Let's see if we can get more to fill out the spaces. Lean pickings. A seemingly eager group of sailors consumed all the beer you buy and then melts away. You're left with a single... strabismic, melancholy seaman who wants to know if he can bring his pickled monkey aboard. I'll pad the bottle with straw, he promises. So this is what happens if we fail in a challenge. 15 echo gone, but I've gained 1 crew, but it is unfortunately a crazy man with a pickled monkey. Let's offer passage to the tomb colonist. It's oddly difficult to die in fallen London, but when a Londoner is too tatty and wretched to live, they wrap themselves in bandages and take ship for the tomb colonies. Your crew cart these ones aboard in padded coffins. They'll sleep there until the journey is done. So I've got 1 tomb colonist and I need to take them to Venderbite. Okay, what else is going on? The Labyrinth of Tigers is open under the patronage of the London Zoological Society to cautious visitors for educational purposes. Here you may see the devil apes of Far Mandalay, the thing in the mirror, the Cantagastus children, the gargantuan cave snake, the inhabitor of wolves, the hybrid fiend. The management recommends that you arrange your exit well before closing time. So I do not have the money to purchase a live specimen from the labyrinth.
Nice to meet you.
And I do not have
I'm Zeno Friend.
Any rare creatures that they would want. Your lodgings. Here you may catch up with your correspondence, rest or retire altogether from seafaring life. The better your lodgings, the better the quality of your retirement, naturally. So we are currently not able to retire or anything because we don't have a house. We are just staying in a room above the pub. I can read the morning papers, though. Read the Unexpurgated Gazette, the magazine formerly known as the London Magazine, the Spiteful Trumpeter, News. News from home. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The traitor empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. We now have recent news. Go back to the rest of the city. What's waiting for you in London? Nothing by the looks of it. A passenger. Someone in the dock wants to board your ship. Agree to carry the unsettled salvager to Venderbite. Oh, also wants to go to Venderbite. She visits Wolfstack every day in Z-stained rags, begging for passage. No captain will look her in the eye. Well, it so happens we're heading that way anyway. Welcome to board. She embraces you. I'd kiss you, sir, but my beloved is prone to jealousy. We were parted, but the ancient captains at Venderbite will know where she is. Right, cool. Let's go to Venderbite. Everybody ready? Let's leave. Venderbite is north. Shady cook. He can render the supplies edible, if not palatable. He is just as useless as the comatose ferret. January 27th, 1889. Dust echoes even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. January 28th. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Sighted a bat swarm and I've hit the wall as well. One hole lost. Come on. There we go. The trouble with tomb colonists. You've brought this decaying emigrant north. Now what? One last fight. Your passenger has been drinking. Ahoy, she chortles. Defend yourself. She launches a tipsy assault. Your crew hang back, chuckling. Thanks, crew. An effortless defense. Tomb colonists have a lifetime of bitter experience. Some of them are the deadliest combatants under the earth. Possibly this one is when she hasn't drunk quite so much rum. You'll never know. She salutes you, laughing after you disarm her. Good fight, she opines. Then she staggers backwards and falls over the side. You never do find what happened to her, but at least you have her rather magnificent cavalry saber and her belongings. So we did not manage to... Yeah, okay, we jeweled a tomb colonist. The tomb colony of Venderbite. On deck, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. It's something like the world's most restless concert audience or the world's most plague-ridden cathedral. Right, so we can find ancient captains to speak to the unsettled salvager. It shouldn't be too hard. What else have they got to do around here but moulder? We are not terrified enough to bother with a dusty glass of wine in Venderbite. We can explore Venderbite. Here, they favour candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. 1 building in 3 seems abandoned. We can visit the first curator. Z captains, the first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists. But even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. And we can gather gossip. Who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? We do not currently have enough supplies to be the last tour operator. Let's do the thing we came here for. The other thing we came here for. Terrible bad luck. An assortment of decrepit Z captains gathers around her, compelled by tradition, honor, or boredom. She picks her nails and closes her eyes when at last she speaks. I want to find Lady Black. The captains that can run do. The rest shuffle away as swiftly as they're able. Only one remains behind. How long were you down there? He asks. 20 minutes, she replies. The captain puts his hand on her shoulder. Seek the house of the Kiel in Polythreme, he says. But if you can forget her, do. It's possible. He embraces her and departs. So we are now bound for Polythreme. Let's explore Venderbite. The Lamplighter's Arcade. Here they sell copper jewellery, grimacing little faces and squat rectilinear figures. A tradition from before London, they claim. You part with a few small coins for a cheery-looking thing with an expression like a tipsy bat. Perhaps it will bring you good dreams. The first curator. This was it. Pissed bat. Yep. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in a latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandage shaped no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. So we can listen to a whispered request. Z Captain, silk skin. Not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colours, 7 colours. Pay well. Can ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcades of Venderbite. I can accept the commission. Thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colours. Or depart for now. You have no further business with the curator just now. Let's listen to the request. 7 colours. Cosmogon, Irigo, Blemmigan. Steward has the list. Find them here and there across the wide Black Sea. Let's ask about the Grand Sanatorium. A long, low chuckling. Oh, Silkskin, you don't want to know. The chuckling becomes a cough. We don't die here below. Not unless we go to Z. So we needed something else. Somewhere to end. Let's accept the commission. No more words. It collapses, rustling back onto the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim, illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We will all be grateful if you do it this one last favour. So I have a book called The Neathbow, which has pages showing the colours that I need. So Apocyan, Cosmogon, Gant, Irigo, Blemmigan, Violent, and Viric. And let's gather gossip, because that gives me the port report. Along the coasts of the Untersee, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. And we now have a port report. Let's see if I can speak to any of my officers or anything like that. Speak to the shady cook. What do you want? He might say more, but a coughing fit takes him. Eventually he straightens up and wipes his mouth slowly with his forearm. The shady cook is not the most hygienic of officers, but he'll do until you find someone better. If we spend a secret, we can improve our hearts. We haven't currently got one. But let's ask him what he wants from life. Why did the shady cook choose to go to Z? I have no idea what he's saying. He looks you directly in the eyes. Surely. He repeats it more slowly. Sea of lilies. He licks his lips very slowly. Eventually, you have to look away. So we need to take him to the Sea of Lilies. Somewhere in the east central Antizee. I don't know if I've ever found it, so it might be really far away. Let's go back to London. No, London's not where we want to go, is it? We want to go... somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. Polythreme, but I don't remember where Polythreme is. Somewhere over here, I think. Here, Polythreme. It's quite far. Let's go back to London to get some fuel and then let's head to Polythreme. January 30th. You are being watched. January 30th. Home waters. Sailors dawdle at the rail, watching for the lights of London.
Hope everyone enjoys it here. Please follow the stream.
Returning to London. The lights of London welcome you home. Collect messages from the harbour master. Right, there's a few things going on. So I can visit the Admiralty's survey office. Probably should, because I've got a port report. Vendor-bite. What have the nearly dead been up to then? 10 echo. 1 favours, 1 fuel. No, still can't. Need to survey more ports before they want to speak to me. Visit the Rose Market. So the veteran Privy Councillor is seeking an outlandish artifact. I do actually have one. He is there surveying curios from distant ports with palace servants in muted slippers. The Empress dislikes loud noises. So let's sell that to him. A collector of sorts. The veteran Privy Councillor holds a mirror behind the artifact and examines the reflection. Yes, inferior to London workmanship, obviously, but it will make an acceptable conversation piece nevertheless. He snaps his fingers at a servant. Pay the captain. Gained 150 echo. A new recruit. So I've got an officer, the genial magician. Good afternoon, sir. Perhaps I can do your engines some good. No, I'm quite the engineer. Difficult to credit, isn't it? But here are my references. Or the tireless mechanic. Afternoon. Ready to offer my services. I'm an engineer. Finest you'll ever hire. Treat engines like my own children. Not that I have children. Too busy. Usually busy. Or just a sailor. What desperate desire has led this one to sign on? Who cares? They're very keen. Consequently, they're cheap. Let's fill up my sailor slots for now, because the other ones I will find in other places. A new face. They come, they go. May this one live a little longer than most. Lodgings, can I... No, nothing I can do there. This is this guy again. Let's, yeah, accept the dispensation. Okay, cool. He's given me some stuff. That's good, I needed some stuff. The merchant venturer, I had again this before. He wants either approved romantic literature or just romantic literature. Or bolts of spider silk. So I need to find one of those things. I don't currently have those things. Let's fill up on fuel and supplies. Oh, and the foxfire candles, right? 2 of them I've got currently, but I'll just buy them when I can. Polythreme. Polythreme is miles away. Sort of up here. Head to Hunter's Keep and then sort of east. Stop everywhere in the way. January 30th. Fed the crew. Need to make port reports. Where's the dock for Hunter's Keep? Up that side. Hunter's Keep, a quiet isle, a grand old house. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other Untersea islands, but here's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. So we can present ourselves at the house. They have heard your ship come in, why hide? Walk in the gardens. Take a couple of burly sailors with you, just in case, but the gardens are tranquil as moonlight. Or reconnoitre the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of the grounds. Anything else? Or spy on the house. This place may not be as simple as it seems. Let's reconnoitre the island first, just in case. The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here, nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters, but the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. See if we can spy on the house. Piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlour, grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops. We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you. The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. Hush, if we don't speak of it. She frowns. Has she seen you at the window? You withdraw. Right, let's present ourselves at the house. They will have heard the ship come in. Knock and enter. A maid with smouldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlour where 3 young women wait. A visitor, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles, the eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. The cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? A tiny breeze stirs your hair and dies. Who do we want to have lunch with? So because we have recent news, we can do it twice. So let's lunch with Cynthia. Cynthia is the eldest, melancholy, pensive, occasionally dramatic. Cynthia grabs your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to a story of a murder. An axe, a net, blood on scented water. Another chop, Cynthia asks. You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry. We now have the gods of the Z salt's attention, and a tale of terror, and extra supplies. Not receiving visitors. The parlour is empty. Where are the sisters? The maid makes it clear through a series of unwelcoming growls that Phoebe, Lucy, and Cynthia are all three indisposed. No lunch today, apparently. But news. Even when the sisters aren't feeling sociable, they can be tempted out of their lair by the smell of new stories. We do have recent news. Let's knock and wait. You ask the sulphur-eyed maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message that their headaches are cured and you're invited to lunch. A belch of smoke goes up from the funnel. So let's talk to Lucy this time. Lucy, the middle sister, is sunny, restless, prone to giggles. A daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. We now have Stone's attention. So I don't have any more news, so I can't luncheon with the other sister as well. So let's continue on our way.
How are you doing today?
January 30th. Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, unnameable flora. We enter the snares. Oh shit. We don't want to be near bound sharks. Bound sharks are bad. Stay away from it. This ship is not big enough to deal with that, and I don't have enough weapons. January 30th. A baked breeze rises, the improbable scent of stone out of some distant desert. You are close to the salt lions. January 31st. Z-bats cry out. They are nothing like birds. The salt lions are up a bit. Are they in line with Polythreme? Not really. We're kind of heading more there where we are now. We could go up a little, but not to the salt lions, I don't think. I can turn the light back on now, or people are going to start going mental. Ugh, pirates. Or something. They don't have a hell of a lot of health either, so let's shoot them. Didn't hit them. We're never gonna fucking hit them. Go loot it. You've destroyed a pirate frigate. The ship is yours. What will you do with her? Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel and these seas aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. Here's something at the back of the hold. We have finished opening a cache of curiosities, gained 2 supplies, gained 1 fuel. What's inside? A stout crate. Crates, the source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. A crate of supplies, hardtack and water and an unexpected box of nails. A would-be wit remarks that the nails look tastier than the hardtack until an officer's glare silences her. Gained 4 supplies. Going the wrong way. So we have a lot of supplies now. So it actually should be okay to carry on to Polythreme. February 2nd, the glim lamp at the prow fizzes, arcs. February 2nd, Shepherd's Wash, the salty hinterland of London, home to hermits, nuns, and shadowy business. February 2nd, fed the crew. This was a numbers joke. I don't get it, I'm sorry. Polythreme is not the place with the tomb colonists, just so you know. Polythreme is even weirder. Oh, three. I don't get it. I'm really sorry. Abbey Rock. Here the Grim Sisters' lair. I'm being stupid. I'm sorry. Abbey Rock, a black spit of an island, far from anywhere anyone would want to go, and that's how the Sisterhood likes it. Here stands their fortress convent. There are bear traps that look friendlier than this. So we can trade supplies. Resources are limited on this bleak rock. The Sisterhood will pay a fair price for supplies. Not a good price, mind. 20 echoes to be precise. Let's not do that. We kind of need our supplies. We can compile a report. It's unlikely to be eventful. We can knock at the iron-studded gates, although you have no recent news. Watch the convent. Wait a while and see. We don't have a hunting trophy to offer to them. But we can search the surroundings. You can't be the first to come here. Let's search first. A cache! You follow tracks into a sea cave. Someone has stored food, supplies, ammunition. It can't be the nuns. These crates have a carnate look. The Admiralty will want to know about this. I have too much stuff. I have 6 too many things. Ugh, maybe I should have sold the supplies. Oh, it won't let me. I should have sold them. God damn it. I can compile a report, or I can watch the convent first. Dangerous training. Like huge and deadly herons, the sisters stalk along the very tops of the walls. You watch through a spyglass as they leap and whirl, slashing at each other with a variety of frightening weapons. God, one of them just turned a somersault. Let's compile a report. As always, nothing is happening. The sisters watch us. We feel their eyes. The sea crashes on the rocks, withdraws. The fortress stands stolid as the last year of a century. The greatest peril you risk here is a certain purpleness of prose. Let's knock at the gates. Nothing. Far away, a great bell tolls. Drizzle begins to fall. You sneeze. Okay. There's nothing else to be done there at the moment. How am I in terms of... Yeah, Station 3 or whatever it's called, and then onto Polythreme. This is one of the creepier places. Don't. No more jokes. I'm not getting them. I'm too stupid. Station 3. We may infer a Station 1 and a Station 2. We may conjecture a Station 4. Okay. 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 Fine. If you think it sounds like numbers, then okay. I'm not gonna argue with you if that's how your brain is braining today. I'm not gonna argue. That message got held. I put it in chat. I don't mind people swearing, but it got held for violence. I had to allow it. Okay. Let's not get aggressive and violent over the jokes. I know it's not. I know it's not. But it's just the fact that Twitch flagged it. Okay. No, it is. Okay. By being threatened. I'll chuck you off. I'm not going to chuck you off. I'm not going to chuck you off. Okay. Station 3. Machinery hums behind high steel walls. Up the hill there are visible outlines of warehouses and a building with a spire, but the lamps are low where they burn at all, and your ship the only one in harbour. So I can train the telescope on shore. Might be best to get a look from a distance. I might be able to deliver a long box if I can get hold of one. But I can try the gate. The only way past the walls is an unimposing but sturdy looking gate of triple barred silvery metal.
How are you doing
beside
today?
It reads deliveries. So I could just try the gate. Let's spy on them first. Church or something else. You stand on the high point of your ship and look to shore. There is a steepled building on the horizon, by far the largest thing in sight. No cross marks the top of it, nor any other symbol you recognize. Let's try the gate. I don't think it's going to open though. No way in. The metal is steel hard and icy cold to the touch. Attempts with chisels and crowbars fail. Perhaps if you could bring the ship's guns to bear, but no. If you return with a certain delivery, the gate will be open. You'll know if you find it. Okay. On to Polyforum, or whatever the hell you keep calling it. February 2nd. Fed the crew. Poly 5 and Poly 6 them. February 2nd. We hear those voices that will not be drowned. This is the sea of voices. We are close to Polythroom, where nothing is ever truly dead. February 3rd. The air trembles. A breath of change passes. Poly 1'em. Poly 2'em. Poly 12'em. This is turning into French maths. Not even maths, just French counting. Anyway, Polythreme. Here is screaming. Taciturn claymen, evasive clothes colonies, walking like humans. Cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that rides like buried bones in an earthquake. So we can ask about the House of the Keel for the unsettled salvager. The ancient captain in Vendobite said this would advance her search for Lady Black. We can gather intelligence. What news from Polythreme? We can have shore leave. Drink beer for whales from cups that sob, if you like that sort of thing. It is an expensive place to reduce terror. And we don't have a lot of terror, to be honest. We can carry clay men to London. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable. Unless, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. We do not have enough cargo space. Unless we've burned a bunch of fuel. Don't know if we have. I need to check. We do not have the watchful curio that would allow us to have an audience with the king with the 100 hearts. Let's do the quest we came here for. When flesh carved stone, the claymen profess ignorance. The benches wail too much to be sensible, but there is an ancient, long-winded harbour wall that remembers. The house of the keel made exiles of themselves, it says in deep crotchety tones. They boarded their ships and took to the sea. Then far from land they took axes to their ships, sank them, and followed them, man, woman, child, into the depths. In abysses they built their fathomless churches and resumed their worship of Lady Black, spirit of the deeps. The unsettled salvager holds onto your arm for support as you walk back to your ship. I need to dive again, she whispers. Grant me a suit. Please, sir, you do have one in your possession. You could allow it next time you set sail. She knows what she must do. Let's gather intelligence. What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands, but there's unrest in the air. The claymen you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not. The maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. Let's see if we can carry claymen to London. Right, I'm going to have to throw some stuff out. Two things. They troop aboard. Each one lies down in its appointed position next to the other, nested snugly, head by foot. We are for London, one explains to you. Perhaps not. Right, back to London, and then... Right, now we need to deal with the unsettled salvager now that we're out in the sea. The unsettled salvager has requested a diving suit so that she may descend and find Lady Black, a spirit understood to dwell in the abyssal depths. You could grant her permission and a diving suit and allow her to throw herself into that blackest black, or perhaps you could bring her back to London and commit her to the Royal Bethlehem Hotel. So I can give the permission for the unsettled salvager to dive, it is what she wants, or refuse. It is dangerous to be too long underwater outside the protection of a submarine. After 7 minutes, the fears sets in. After 14, the visions start. After 21, there is no return. This is her thing. I'm gonna let her. Probably shouldn't, but I kind of want to know what happens. To rise no more. You help the salvager don the heavy diving suit. The two of you are alone on deck. Your crew has refused to be present. Once dressed, the salvager clanks over to the gap in the railing. She stares down into the black before turning to you. She holds her hand over her heart and leaps backwards off the deck. An apocyanic spray bursts from the calm Z. Exactly 21 minutes later, the line goes taut. You draw up the line, but there is no one in the suit you draw up, only ancient axes and adzes, discoloured by salt, tied to the suit with strands of kelp. We now have 5 outlandish artifacts. Into the Z. February 3rd, the Salt Steppes. This is the domain of the new Khanate, whose ancestors came here long before London fell. Everything here will fight me, so let's stay away from it. February 4th, Azela raises her head, she sniffs sharply, blood on the wind. Ugh. Stay close to the walls, in the hope we can get away. I just wanted to kind of reveal the edge of it, because I haven't really been around here very often. Let's head towards London, though. This bit's difficult because you either have to kind of be in disguise or have permission to be there. And I've not really explored how that's all done. February 5th. Azela is praying. February 5th. No landlubber would notice the change, but you feel the air prickle on your skin. Somewhere new. We have entered a fog bank. Our gunners struggle to see our foe. February 6th. On the horizon, a sickly yellow light glimmers for a moment, then fades. Fought one of these earlier, they're not that bad. Ugh, maybe they are that bad. Uh-oh. They're gonna blow us up. Ah, come on. We're on fire. In a bad way. In the worst possible way. Got it. We lost one crew though. Maybe it was the monkey guy. The ship is yours. Scuttler. Okay, crates. It's more food again. We haven't got enough space for it. Oh, we had space for some of it. We don't have space for all of it. Gonna need to replace the crew member when we get back to London, actually. Let's stop off at St. Savin first. Oh no, I don't want to. That's Pigmo Isle. No, we're not doing Pigmo Isle now. We'll do that another time. I'm not stopping there. Pigmo Isle is a whole thing. Which I've done with other... So if you've been here for other streams where I had previous captains before they died, you will have seen that. I don't think it will have maintained the progress because everything usually starts again with a new captain on this game. So I'm not doing it now because it's an absolute menace of a storyline. It is ridiculous. It's great, but it just takes ages. I'm probably too damaged to fight this thing. Ugh, no! Right, I definitely need repairs when I get back. If I get back. If I get back. No. I may not make it back. Yes! Okay, got it! Gillyfleur's End. The gillyfleur. Is it a young jellyfish? A lesser subspecies? Do the dreams of jellyfish become real? In any case, now, it's a sad slick of goo dissolving into the Z. So scoop it up. Perhaps you can eat it. Better yet, perhaps your sailors can. Or let it disperse. Watch its oil rainbow colours fade. Don't know. Let's scoop it up. I don't want to eat it. But let's see what it is. A spreading stain. It's gone. You are left with gooey gloves and a buttery smell. And this purple thing. Is it an egg? A heart? A less fortunate traveller dissolved and shriveled to mauve ruin. Put it somewhere safe. We now have one strange catch. See, that's worth dishing up. Comb. Right, we're gonna need repairs. We need to drop off our claymen. I'm probably gonna get hired from another smuggling job because I've got involved with him again. The revenue men. Her Enduring Majesty's Customs Service works closely with both the Ministry of Public Decency and the Masters of the Bazaar. Today they have selected you for an inspection. Don't cheat them. So we can let them do their worst. You have nothing to hide. We don't have anything to hide. We can declare all controlled goods. Pay the customs duty on any untaxed souls or romantic literature you're carrying. Surrender any smuggled sunlight. The customs duty is nothing, because again, we don't have anything. Talk your way out of a search. Today's duty officer is a patriot. Perhaps you can claim that you're an Admiralty business. The Admiralty don't care about us enough to do that. Or set something aside. They needn't know about every little trinket you have. It's a high-risk challenge. There's no point, because again, we have nothing. So let's just declare all controlled goods. Clink, clink. Her Enduring Majesty thanks you, one of the revenue intones. Did he just hide a smile? Right. Nothing has changed. Let's collect any messages. Right, deliver the claymen. This is where they wanted to be, or at least where they're supposed to be. Ashore, one by one they rise, uncomplainingly, with no trace of stiffness or discomfort from the long voyage. The deck resounds beneath their heavy tread. A shroom yard manager waits on dock, tapping her foot. About time, she says. Here's your payment. Come along now. You. There's a good construct. Right. So they paid us. They seem to just be slaves. Great. Visit the survey office. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of Her Enduring Majesty, notionally. 5 echo for that. 1 fuel. Station 3. Excuse me. Just let me call a colleague in. Omitted. This is my colleague, Mr. Villain, of the Ministry of Public Decency. Mr. Villain, this good captain's report is here. If you would care to... Yes, the fire is already lit. Let us... There we go. Now only ashes remain, and it might have caused such a lot of trouble. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate your discretion. Here is your payment. You need not trouble yourself further in this affair. 100 echo to shut up. Fantastic. Abbey Rock. We categorize it as a military installation, you know, although that has occasioned quite some vigorous debate. Polythreme. The king with 100 hearts. What a useful fellow. Without his exports, I'd be delivering my own coal. And we've got the strategic information, right? Pass it on. Okay. Is there anything else he needs? Doesn't seem like it, no. Okay, we might want to hire another crew member, but let's see if there's any other new recruits. No, it's the same ones again. Cheap Zayla. May this one live a little longer than most. I don't have any of his stuff yet. Visit the Rose Market, see if there's anything I can... They want a Solace Fruit, they want Scintillate, I have neither. Lodgings, read the morning papers, so I have some recent news now. Maybe I can go back and deal with the sisters at some point. And the other thing I needed to do was put the ship in dry dock for repairs. Completely repair my hull. Let's do that. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there because that's ran over quite a bit more than I intended to. But thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the stream, please give it a follow. Yeah, I aim to stream every week, but it doesn't always work out that way at the moment. But I have been trying to get back onto it. And hopefully see you back here soon anyway. Hopefully see me back here soon. And have a good rest of your day, night, whatever time it is for you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.